Hello, fellow hobby enthusiasts. I've noticed a lot of people on Horizon's website asking questions about this particular charger. They're not real sure how to use it, and I know instructions sometimes are kind of hard for me. I do better just figuring stuff out sometimes. But I've got the old Onyx 240, and I'm kind of used to using this, but I needed to be able to charge 4 cells and bigger. And so this little Profit Sport Dual is a really nice machine, especially for the price. And man, I'm thinking I gave around 89 or something for it at West Virginia Hobby and Craft. And anyway, we'll just go through a quick tutorial here to show you how to use this thing. I think where people get confused is how to set the amps and everything. So first thing you want to do, of course, is plug it in, and then in the back of it is a switch. I'll power it down there just for a second. Okay, you power it back up. Now you see your settings here. You have Dynamite. Okay, and boy, that really looks like it says Dynamite. You got LiPo in the middle and LiPo fast, and that's probably just for really high amp, high C type batteries. And we got the same on both sides. And then we have a start stop button. We have 3 colored lights. Okay, now for an example, this is Horizon's setup to charge the 300 milliamp 2 cells, or actually I think theirs are 180 and 200 and 250 or so forth. I got these off of Hobby King, the Nanotech 300 milliamp, and probably can't see it on there, but these things are 35C to 70C quick burst, and it's really awesome if you've got any of the new micros, or the this one I like to use in the MiG-15, the little jet that Horizon put out. And these are very reasonable. I don't remember what I paid for them, but they're very reasonable. Okay, so in this case we've plugged in this apparatus into the main plug ports. And these batteries, when you charge these batteries or E-flights that are like these, make sure you use this setup. Now it has this little balance plug, and it's not like any other balance plug. It's its own size. It's small. It doesn't fit in any of the other types. So get this apparatus and always use a board. Now this happens to be a Thunder Power board and a Thunder Power type plug-in, but you can use either Thunder Power or E-flight type. It doesn't matter, because this part's the same, okay, no matter what you're doing down here. So plug that into your board. I've got the Thunder Power board that this actually came with my Onyx. I don't think the Profit had a Thunder Power board, but they're so rare now, hardly anybody uses them anymore. So what we're going to do is, now we look at this battery, and it's 300 milliamps. Probably can't see that, but it's 300 milliamp. Okay, now 1,000 milliamps is 1 amp. Okay, so anything below that is point whatever. So this being 300 milliamp, we're going to dial the amp. The black dials are for setting your amps. You always don't want to go over your amp setting. You don't want to go, for instance, if this battery was a 200 milliamp, we'd only want to set this at 2, not 3. So you got 1, 2, and 3, and it's a little touchy. See, it's wanting to go back and forth from 3 to 4. So if you're going to err on the lower side. Okay, we got it steady at 3 amp. So we're going to plug that puppy in. Okay, now we go to our button, our start button, and hold it in. Okay, when you hear that long beep, it says LiPo on the screen. Okay, and it's down to run one red light because it's not charged yet. So as it works its way up, it'll go to the yellow and then the green. Okay, now for our other side, what we're going to use here is a G-Force 1300 2-cell, and this is from Value Hobby out of Illinois. Very reasonable, nice batteries. Best buy on batteries. You know, even some of them are even better than Hobby King. 30C, 1300 milliamp. Now I don't want to trash E-Flite batteries. I've got several E-Flite batteries, but I have had problems with them in the past, and they cost twice as much, and I haven't had the same problems out of the cheap batteries. Okay, so what we're doing here, now we have the E-Flite type board plugged into our balance port, okay, with this balance board. So we're going to plug this into 2-cell, and I hope this is, I mean, some of this stuff I know you guys already know, so just bear with me. For this is for people who never charged a LiPo battery and just getting into it. Okay, and then we have our main plug-in, and what I use here is the Squid or something like that. I think this Prophet came with this one. So, but you see you've got multi-plugs on it, and that's awesome. And then you've got two empty ones where you can put your own type of connector on there if you've got something that's not on this mess. Okay, so we're using the GAST on this battery, and we'll plug it in right there. Okay, now this battery is a 1300 and it's 30C. So remember, 1000 milliamp is 1 amp. Okay, so we can crank this up to 1.3. Okay, hit the start button. That's all there is to it. And when the colors are up to the green, they'll be charged. I think it has it beeps or something. It lets you know. But don't forget, always set your amps no higher than what the battery is rated at. Okay, if it's a 1300 battery, never set it for 1400 or more. Set it for 1300 or less. You can go less, but don't go more. Now the difference on the and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but the difference on the old 240 here, and by the way, this is a great charger, especially I take it to the field and I use a car battery in my van to charge it with. But if you can see these settings here, when you hold it down, you got 5 amp, and from that it goes to 8.8, 1.5, 3.0, back up to 5. So it's kind of limited, you know, to get exactly what you want. So usually you have to underamp. Well, I mean, you do have to underamp. You have to charge it at less amps if you don't have the particular setting you need. And like I say, this is a great charger, man. I've had this thing for several years now. I wouldn't trade it for nothing, but I love this Prophet. Now the Prophet, by the way, is AC only, and the reason for that is probably because it goes up to 6 amp, and it goes oh man, I think this thing does, it goes up to 6 cells, so that would be very hard to get that kind of charging out of a 12 volt car battery type charger. So I saw one guy that was a little torqued off because it didn't do DC, but it's, you know, check that before you buy one. It can't do DC, but it's a great AC charger. If you fly or race cars, most of the places are going to have a power connection anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. But I really think it's a great product. It's a great price, and so far haven't had any trouble with it. It's very easy to figure out once you charge a couple times. you know, you've got it. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps, and we'll see you next time.